What is going on, guys? My name is Alex, and in today's video we're going to be covering if the Xbox 360 is worth it in 2026. The Xbox 360 was released in November of 2005, launching an entire year before Sony's PlayStation 3. At first, this gave Microsoft a huge advantage, and they got a head start in the console market, and quickly built up a massive player base. However, releasing that early came with a major downside. To beat Sony to the market, development of the Xbox 360 was heavily rushed. As a result, many early consoles suffered from serious hardware failures, most famously the Red Ring of Death. The Red Ring of Death, often shortened to the RROD, was caused by hardware failures that could leave some consoles completely bricked. Estimates vary, but some results suggest around a 23 to over 50% of early Xbox 360 consoles experienced the issue. Depending on the manufacturing period and study, the problem became so widespread that Microsoft eventually extended the warranty for affected systems to 3 years and reportedly spent over $1 billion on repairs and replacements. Thankfully, later hardware revisions such as the Jasper motherboard refresh on the Xbox 360 Fat and Elite models and the Xbox 360 Slim and E fixed most of these reliability problems, making them such far more defendable than the original launch consoles. Nowadays, you can find an Xbox 360 from between $40 to $500, depending on what condition, storage capacity, and whether it's a limited edition console or not. For my setup, I picked up a Xbox 360 Slim 4GB for around $140, refurbished from DK Oldies. And I'm just going to keep it real with you, I do not recommend buying from DK Oldies. When you hear the word refurbished, you'd expect the console to be fully cleaned and have a fresh thermal paste and all that other jazz. But based on the warranty sticker on the back of my console, which would have been broken if they actually opened it, and it doesn't look like they ever took the system apart in my experience, I would not wouldn't trust refurbished claims. Instead, I would recommend checking places like your local GameStop, pawn shops, Facebook Marketplace, and local retro game stores, Game Exchange for example, or eBay and Amazon. Just make sure you're buying from a reputable seller. The main reason why I bought an Xbox 360 Slim was because it has built-in Wi-Fi, and at the time I didn't have Ethernet running to my room, so it was the best option for me. And on top of that, the Xbox 360 Slim models are generally much more reliable than the original Xbox 360s. What's crazy is after I bought my console, I watched a video from Jacob R, where he ordered an Xbox 360 from DK Oldies. The listing specifically advertised the console as having HDMI, but when it arrived, they actually sent him a 2006 Xenon model, which doesn't even have an HDMI port. Not only that, but it's completely different than what was advertised. But the Xenon also, the motherboard revision that's infamous for the Red Ring of Death. Seeing that, I'd already had my console for about 2 or 3 weeks at that point, made me feel pretty happy that I got a 360 Slim, because I would have gotten the shit scanned out of myself. But thankfully, I got my 360 Slim, and that's exactly what showed up. Now, let's talk about game prices. This is honestly one of the Xbox 360's biggest strengths in 2026. Most of the games in my collection costed me somewhere from about $5 to $25. I either traded them with one of my friends or picked them up from GameStop, bought them from a local retro game store called Game Exchange. The only real exception was Forza Horizon 2, which cost me around $30, because it has become more sought after. It's become a more sought after title over the years. Overall, the Xbox 360 games are incredibly affordable, and especially when you compare them to modern games that launch for $70 or more. for the price of a brand new game today, you can build a pretty solid Xbox 360 collection just for that. And honestly, this generation had some of the better games ever made. I feel like it felt like, according to like sources that I've heard, it was pretty much a banger releasing every other week, and that makes a very massive library for the Xbox 360, and really is one of the biggest reasons the Xbox 360 is still worth considering in 2026. Now for Xbox Live, even though the Xbox 360 is over 20 years old, Xbox Live still works for a lot of games. You can still sign into your Xbox account, earn achievements, download updates, and play online supported titles. That said, it's definitely not what it used to be. Microsoft shut down the Xbox 360 marketplace in 2024, so you can no longer buy digital games, DLCs, or movies directly from the console. You can still buy it on, like, for an instance, if there's Xbox 360 games on the Xbox Marketplace on, like, your phone or your, like, Series X or new console, you can buy those and then you can re-download them. Either that or buy physical copies. As for multiplayer, it really depends on the game. Some titles have active communities while others are completely dead. Games like Call of Duty still have players online, but don't expect every game to have full lobbies. Overall, the Xbox Live isn't as feature-packed as it once was. It is surprisingly usable in 2026, especially if you're mainly interested in grinding achievements and playing the occasional online match. So, final verdict. Is the Xbox 360 still worth buying in 2026? I'd say yes if you're looking for a cheap console with an incredible game library of affordable games and tons of like nostalgia. The Xbox 360 is still a fantastic choice. Just make sure you buy the right model. I recommend buying like an Xbox 360 Slim or a 360 Elite or the Fat model with a Jasper motherboard type, but I'm just gonna keep it above. The 360E is ugly, and the consoles that I just listed, they're so much more reliable than the original launch models, as mentioned like several times throughout the video. Overall, I'd give the 360 a 9 out of 10 in 2026. It's maybe over 20 years old, but it's still one of the best consoles ever made, and definitely worth picking up. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and if you're new, let me know in the comments if you still own a 360, and thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.